just can go straight to university and do your degree.
Okay.
Yep. And VET. So I know a lot of people asked about the certificate 3 that you were seeing. Yeah, so we have an option where, as Ms. Sami and Ms. Kubra said, that if the student doesn't want to do any of the subjects in Year 12 that the school offers, we have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 online. So in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are online. Replacing a subject in school with in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, and the ones I was talking about like swimming and stuff, they offer different certificates. So then the student has the option to then do, which a lot of our Year 12 boys are doing right now currently. We have external companies that we work with where they offer certificate 3 so they are replacing a subject in business administration, medical administration, in business and retail, swimming and stuff, they offer So we discussed that. We don't want to bring it to now, but we want to because last year our highest we had 1.45, that's because of the university study which gave our higher average study for psychology and neuroscience, but the university study
We also have the SACE. You say that separating in a higher, and you say that they should be able to do one of the hardest the other science of the scientific studies, and that is teachers get how to do experiments and investigate and analyze certain fields that's something that the other science had like information biology are more complicated, whereas the other one was nutrition and scientific studies and psychology. So if a student is unable to get a C or higher, they will look at the test scores and see whether and then if there is a then we start to speak about it and then guide when I want to play it once but we know that we don't have the correct study habits change the last other ways that will work and then if there is then we so they did all of that and we've got a with that they set the foundation together to stop that from before and then build up there's no science subject that's just so they did all of that they're specialized and we've got with that they set the foundation together to stop that from before the other university. So the question about the university studies. We have three major universities, 12 of them emerging, and the way it works is all of them, well, all the slides are regarding university websites, and those slides are all present, so that you can go and go to the rooms and ask questions, and they'll answer all your questions. But just to summarize it, 12 universities fully equal scholarship for students who are accepted. They need to apply at the end of year 11. They need to have at least 11 subjects in the all B or above, and if they've done a stage 2 subject, then they'll be preference. And if they've got all A, then they'll be given questions because that's all your number of so they either university pay scholarship for students who are accepted, university apply and pays for only half, and if you can do one subject, it can be all B center of something that you want to go there. Choose a subject. Each university has its own courses. So if you want a certain subject or course, then you want to maybe apply for that same university. But we also check a SACE score, and the SACE score is to check that it's just SACE for psychology subject university subject, and then you do psychology and then you get 12 subjects as well. I don't know how you're going to go there. Just choose a subject so that you can check that there's no conclusions. Because what happens is there is the knowledge except one or the other. So we make a lot of that. And if they get an extra check and SACE score, and the SACE score is to check that it's just SACE for psychology subject university subject, and then you do psychology and then you get 12 subjects as well. I don't know how you're going to go there. Just choose a subject so that you can check that there's no conclusions. Because what happens is there is the knowledge except one or the other. So we make a lot of that. Much better than maybe a subject, a year 12 subject that they do and they're not interested in and they're not doing well in. So that's the benefit of it, but it is competitive. So we do advise that they keep up the year 11 grades to at least a B or above if they want to do that. Otherwise, students tend to go to vet because they can finish it before year 12 and not worry about another subject to do in year 12. They do want a subject in year 12. But for those who want to do university studies because of the grades, then they would apply at the end of year 11. If they get in year 12, then they finish it in year 12. But again, it just means that they're doing that subject in year 12 and they probably don't do an extra subject in year 12. They do that one instead. That's about it. If they can't get in, the problem is if they can't get in, then they want to do a vet, then they'll have to do that year. They can't do it. It's too late to do it before after that year. So it depends. And that's why we give advice to students based on what we believe they can and cannot do.
Some of the courses that within this uni offer higher scholarship. It's not 50%, but some of them have 80%. Some of our students did it for semester one. They got their grades and they're pretty good with their grades as well.
Yep.
One thing I'm still not sure about, if they took 2 subjects, semester 1 and 2 in the uni, and they have, for example, D in 1, HD in 1, will both be counted toward the ATAR or just one of them?
Both of them, whichever one, based on all the subjects, all the stage 2 subjects that student has done, they choose the highest grades.
But will these subjects count as 2 subjects?
It'll count as 20 credits. So it'll count as 10 and 10 or 20 out of 20. They'll combine them if they need. So because it's high, HD and D, it's 19.9. 19.9 out of 20. That's really high. Like it's really hard to get that grade in any year 12 subject. So they'll most likely, I can say 100% be counted towards the ATA calculation.
From my experience, it's really time consuming.
It is hard. It's
time
consuming because university is, you start, it's work intensive and then you finish.
And sometimes the exams during the school holiday and sometimes it's uni times.
And we had a student who had one of her exams, university exam, during her physics exam, year 12 physics exam. So she did a physics exam and then the university, she had to do the supplementary exam for the university in December. after the ATAs came out. So as soon as it came out and it was marked, we sent it through, and then the ATA was recalculated. So they recalculate until even the following year.
Some of the university courses, they can choose the easier university courses as well. And a couple of our students did storytelling, for example. It's got nothing to do with science, nothing to do with maths. If they're stronger in English, they can choose subjects like that as well. It gives them a bit of an advantage as well. It's just online test they had, so they don't have actually face-to-face exams as well. So they can look at the criteria of each courses and then choose accordingly. So it doesn't have to be part of the university course selection, basically. So they can choose easier subjects. Yeah, it will count.
Yeah.
It
So
can.
if they take a subject which they will study after, they will
It helps
save
out,
time
definitely,
for
yeah.
the future.
They'll
like-
give credit for that sub-unit.
Yeah.
So for example, in semester 1 of university,
Yeah.
they'll have to do 4 units. But because they've already done this unit in
Exactly.
12, they'll only have to do 3.
And the other thing,
And
they
the
will
load will
make
be
sure
less.
that we really want this subject.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
subject that
It
goes
was
to
a
this.
trial.
They need to put a lot of
Easy trial.
effort into it, yeah. It's very student-centered. They have to follow everything themselves, basically. It's kind of like gives them a taste of what university life is as well. Gives them a lot of responsibility and accountability, which is good in our way as well.
It's good experience, but yeah,
Definitely.
it's kind of.
The ones they did it for semester 1, they actually enjoyed it from girls' campus.
And it helps if you're, as Mr. Sammy said, pushing for that ATA, as some students did last year. The student was able to get the highest 99.45, because she was able to use the university to push. She got the high mark in that, which gave a good average throughout all her classes. But not to say that push for one way and they have to do both school and their extra credit stuff. So, and as Ms. Cooper said, it will be a good learning experience, what the university will be like.
Exactly.
And the vet is very similar. We only help enroll, but it's self-paced between the student and the company. If any issues, we tell them, email the company, call the company, because this is called dialogue, talking between them and the companies.
They have to do everything themselves. The parents don't get involved, teachers don't get involved unless we have to. Otherwise, they do all those phone calls and stuff themselves, which is a great experience.
Yeah, so it's just a survey just regarding this session. It's really hard to know exactly what time suits parents, because if it's later, then you got kids, dinner, and then if it's earlier, it's work. So just any feedback regarding these sessions, so we can when we plan for the future, because we're going to have sessions for year 11, year 12 as well. So it's not going to be the only session we're going to have with you. So we want to know what suits you best. Anything you'd like to know about, anything that you don't really need. And just note that all the slides and more, and all the information, all the links that you need to know are shared with your child on the Google Classroom, the home group Google Classroom. Just push them to show you, go through with them together, and follow the process with them so that they can, when they're choosing the subjects, that they choose the ones that they actually do need. And we'll make it easier for us when we're opening for the subjects and making the lines for them to choose their final subjects. Because if they change their minds later on, they can change their subjects, but the subject might not be there because they didn't choose it and not many students chose it. So just work with them to get through this process. So that's it. That's if you've scanned it, you got it. If not, I'll be sure later. We can move on.
Any more questions to our SACE coordinators, Sami and Kubra, or Zach, for queries advice?
Okay. The live went on was the problem. It went on later on, but I should be able to see it now. So
Can we thank you, Sami, Kubra, and Zach, for that information? My name is Sukan, and I'm the executive principal. I'm here. You're probably getting my emails, SACE merger, and I will be presenting you the data, what we have collected from students, from parents, from staff members. And then next week, the school board will want to make a decision. And then I will also answer your questions if you have any questions. All right, we're going to talk about survey results, finding out what are the things, outcomes, critical success factors, and then if there's any questions, we can answer those questions. This is just the overview. We had 376 responses, 69 responses from staff members, 202 students, and 105 responses from parents. The teachers were more focused on strong professional presentation, and students' outstanding engagement. They were more engaged, they were answering questions. Obviously, our parents as a community participation. So we had a high quality completion rate, which is good. So that's the overall statistics. As an overview, just want to give you an overview. We have about staff members 71% supporting it, parents about 54%. Obviously, some had questions. Students had mixed feelings. I'm going to go over those with you. And then, obviously, there is a sufficient support. The concerns were transportation solutions and cultural sensitivity measures. I'm going to talk about that. Okay, this is our teachers. They said this will be good, especially for our students, enhanced curriculum and better pathways, better resource utilization, teaching specialization opportunities, and collaborative teaching benefits if it's all in one campus, 11 and 12 girls and boys in one campus. And this is for your parents' survey. So we had boys campus, girls campus, and parents who had both campuses. These are the results they've put up. They understand the reasons, 67%, they support 54%. Who will benefit, child will benefit. That gave these results to me. This was another analytical survey that we asked to parents. What were their concerns? So academic quality maintenance, so not concerned to very concerned. So there were not much of a concerns, but some issues with social adjustments, facility covering, co-educational environment, not much concern, but some concerns, and staff changes and continuity. So he gave us an idea. You needed things to be clarified. That's why I want to approach you and ask your questions, or answer your questions, sorry. And one of the highest priority was transportation. So if there's any issues, we're going to look into that and make sure that we have that in place, and we'll decide accordingly. Academic quality maintenance, that's not a big concern, it was more moderate. Social adjustment for children, individual variation. So some students said, mixed will be a problem. Some said neither, they were not much worried. And then I'll talk about that in details as I go along in a minute with the students. This is our students' survey results. They had mixed feelings, you can tell. So this first one on top is both boys and girls. Bottom one, we have the girls' data and the boys' data. The boys had 48% neutral. Girls had about 44.6 neutral. So neutral means mixed, or it doesn't mix, fine with us. They were okay. And there were students who were excited, and there was also students who were worried. And the worries were more, obviously, subject choices were good, mixing, who am I seeing, who's my teacher, the concerns, okay, who's going to teach my chemistry class, who's going to teach my mathematics class. So that gave us a good indication, okay, transition of our girls going to Elizabeth East is a beautiful opportunity, so we can get them to have a look, go and speak to their teachers, who's going to be their SACE teachers in mathematics, science, biology, whatever subjects that they're going to be doing, so they can question the teachers and then get the answers from the teachers. That's what these data shows me from the students. So overall, these are what we call critical success factors. If it's merged, biggest problem was transportation. So where I have to speak to the board and say, look, can we resolve the transportation? It is possible. There's no problem. It can be resolved. Primary concern all throughout them was mainly transportation. So that can be resolved. It's not a big deal. The other one, cultural, religious sensitivity. This was obviously brought up by one of our male students. It was quite interesting. But what I wanted to share with them is that yes, to be sensitive is good. At the same time, they need to be ready for future. Because when they go to university, there's no segregation. They have to learn how to live, work together. So we need to sit down and do what we can as 11 and 12 students to focus on academics, focus on the schoolwork. That's why what we have is pastoral care system, where the teachers who support them or help them or guide them will be monitoring them more and giving them support, moral, spiritual, physical, academics, whatever support that they need. So that's going to be a key factor that we're going to be making sure that we have enough staff members supporting our year 11 and 12. Sometimes what we do with some year 11s or 12s, they have stay overnight or weekend subjects that teachers come and teach them. If they have any questions, they help them on the weekend. So this is all voluntary based for the teachers who come along. And if they do it after school, they stay back. And the students want to do more further support, they will give more support. So that was the main key that I looked at into and say, look, you need to be ready for future. You need to be ready for the university. When you're working, you're going to work with male or female, doesn't matter. You're going to learn how to. So we're going to tell them, how do you speak to a girl or boy? How do you speak to a boy? A girl speaking to a boy. You need to know, to be respectful. You need to understand why. It's not speaking just, it's also communicating, working together, understanding, studying. So all of these things are obviously cultural sensitivities that we highlighted. So we want to work on that together for the students. Inshallah. That's that one. The academic continuity. As you saw, our SACE coordinators and also our careers advisors, they know what they're talking about. And not only they know what they're talking about, they also know the tricks of the trade. We don't want to burden our kids with a lot of academics. If they want to achieve something, they gave them the pathway. Rather than doing so many hard subjects, you just need to do these, and this is your pathway, this is your avenue. So academically, I don't see any problems. One thing that I just want to bring to your attention, not all our kids are academically high or going to university, but there are kids who are capable of doing careers. You know, we need tradesperson, electricians, constructions, whatever. We want to focus on that as well. With the VET programs for those kids, for example, if they want to choose a pathway going through TAFE course, we might even sit down with you and the child, the student, and say, okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? This. Okay, this course you need to do. One day don't come, finish that course in one day, going once a week. That's another option that we were thinking, we're still talking and discussing. So we want to not only support academic high achieving students, but we want to support our students who do want to become a career pathway that they want to choose. I remember when I was in Brisbane, this student came up to me and said, Mister, I don't want to do SACE, or I don't want to go to university. I want to become a construction. What can you do for me? So that's when we called the TAFE people. And they said, Certificate 2, do it in year 11. Certificate 3, do it in year 12. Certificate 4, they have to find a construction person to obviously guide him, and he started working. So he's working and he's learning his trade, and that's what he wanted to do. There was another kids, they said, I can't go through a university through doing nurse. Is there a pathway through TAFE? Yes. We had about 3 students doing TAFE course. They had to do certificate 3 and 4. 4 was quite difficult, but for them to do certificate 4, a hospital had to accept them, and they got accepted. That was in Queensland, Marta Hospital. They got accepted, 3 girls, and they got certificate 4, and they were initiated into hospital. So these are the pathways we also try to. There's a lot of ways that students can achieve, and sometimes they think, okay, academic, yes, good. With the brilliant minds, go for it. We can support them, but we don't want to exhaust them. We want them to achieve the utmost so they go into university. Sometimes what happens is they do extremely well with the ATAR, they go to university, they don't want the first year. You know what I mean? So we've been thinking about these, communicating all of these, and hopefully we make the right decision for the students. Obviously, that means for the parents as well. Okay. So if we do go ahead, hopefully, we want to make sure that we're doing it right for all of the parents. So we got, and if you do have any questions, anytime, just give me a call, email, whatever, or you can use the Slido questions. Willing to answer all the questions. As a parent, I have a child in Year 10. He's going to be Year 11 as well. And I've always encouraged, at the moment, okay, Year 10, 7 to 10, you've learned what school is, high school is. Now, you're going to be choosing your career pathway. Now you need to think about it accordingly. And this is where you have your teachers to consult, get your answers from them and approach them. Do you have any questions? No questions. So next week we will have a board meeting.
I have a question.
Yes.
These are young kids growing up, they are not exposed to, for example, I have only one son.
Yeah.
She doesn't have sisters.
Yeah.
How will you, for them not to touch each other, really put it frankly, how will you control them? Because so that they will not go and touch someone else's girls inappropriately.
Yeah, we make sure see, we have sections for girls where they will study by themselves, section for boys where they will be studying by themselves, and they will be supervised. There will be some classes that will be mixed for those small subjects. For example, if there's students who are choosing chemistry, there will only be 10, maybe 2 girls, 8 boys, or 8 boys, 2 girls could be in that chemistry class.
And in sitting wise, are you gonna
Of course,
them?
of course.
Like, let's say girls sit on one side, boys sit on one side, or
Usually
you just mix them up?
No, we don't mix them. They usually choose themselves. The girls automatically separate themselves. They separate themselves all the time.
Yeah, I have at the moment, Year 12 girls are coming to Elizabeth East campus for maths and physics. I teach the maths class. Boys, girls, they don't even talk to each other.
We don't separate them, they separate themselves automatically.
Because they are teenagers,
I know.
their hormones developing
I know.
and you'll never know. And
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Jenny.
There has been discussion about offering workshops for the boys and the girls, talking about how to be respectful towards the opposite sex. So there is still potential workshops that we will have for the students to say, this is how you need to approach where girls are respectful at all times.
There is a concern,
Education as well to help them.
they need to educate it.
So there's a lot of positive things putting them together.
Yeah, there's no positivity, but these kids are growing up at the moment.
I know.
And they are developing hormones, which is for the grown up, they know how to control it. But these are someone who doesn't even.
Let me tell you what, I've been in the education for over 30 years. Boys and girls are separate in terms of their adolescent stage or maturity that they go through. See, the girls mature in Year 8. That's their, what I call crazy age year. Definitely, Year 8. They don't think, they just do, they become silly or argue. Boys, Year 9. In Year 9, they're all over the place. They're not thinking. You talk to them, they go, what did I say? That's all. But in Year 10, this is where their senses come back. They become more mature, they more understand, they relate. Year 11, 12, they change immensely. They become more adult, they can be more approachable. Yeah, they can be, some of them can be silly. We say, no being silly, yeah? Have fun, talk to each other, but don't be silly, be respectful. So they're more mature in Year 11 and 12. You should see them, even with their age. Some of them are, they have beards and all that. I go, are you a student or a teacher? That's how mature they look. So we are for the kids and we want to make sure that they focus on the academics. That's my feeling for them and for them to be successful, for the both boys and the girls. Any questions? Look, thank you very much. And we are here for your kids and we want them to be successful, not just academically, but in this life and inshallah in the hereafter. All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.